I'd like to call this regular meeting of council to order on October the 15th, 2024 at 7 p.m. We'll stay seated for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. As we gather this evening, I acknowledge on behalf of council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we're extremely grateful for the many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. I'm pleased to announce that on October 21st, 2024, Luc Desjardins will be taking over as our new CEO, Clerk Treasurer for North Algona Wilberforce. After a thorough recruitment process, we look forward to working with and supporting Luc as he familiarizes himself with our community, our staff, and our council. I also want to thank Holly Hayes for her leadership during the past 7 months as the acting CAO. Holly provided stability, direction, and continuity during this transitional period, and we are grateful that Holly agreed to extend her term until we hired a permanent CAO clerk treasurer. During the month of September, I attended 19 meetings on municipal and/or county business. On Thursday, September 26, 2024, I attended a meeting at the Makwa Community Center with Craig Sarson, Chief of Pikwakanagan, staff, and mayors from the County of Brantford. This was an opportunity to connect with the various Pikwakanagan departments, their staff, and the programs they are offering for their residents. On Monday, September 23rd, 2024, I attended a press conference for a funding announcement from Ontario Power Generation at the Shaw Woods Outdoor Education Centre. The donation is for continued support for busing subsidies for Renfrew County schools. On Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024, I attended a virtual advanced council training session with Councillor Reggie Schoenfeld. The workshop was focused on community engagement and effective communication. One concern raised with the elected in attendance was the toxic social media environment that is discouraging individuals from putting their name on a ballot in municipal elections. I want to thank Adrian Tomasini and the Public Works staff for the work that has been done this summer. It was wonderful to see the newly repaved roads that have been completed. Public Works staff has been finishing up their construction and maintenance projects and will be preparing the equipment for winter maintenance. And Renfrew County received good news on Monday, October 7th, when the Joint Transportation Consortium announced that they had reached an agreement with school bus operators to resume the busing of our students. And that was my mayor's address. And I have a motion that the October 15th, 2024 mayor's address be accepted as presented, moved by Councillor Byrne, seconded by Councillor Robinson. No comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Here. And item number 5 is the adoption of the minutes, and I have a motion that the September 17th, 2024 regular council minutes, the September 9th, 2024 Committee of Adjustment minutes for Richards, the September 9th, 2024 Committee of Adjustment minutes for Bowman, September 17th, 2024 Committee of Adjustment minutes for LeBlanc be accepted as presented. Moved by Councillor Buchwald, seconded by Councillor Birch. Any additions, corrections, or omissions? Seeing none, all in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. And I'm just asking council if there were any declarations of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof. No, see none. The delegation that we were planning to have with Melissa Market from the county has been canceled. Melissa came down with the flu and was unable to attend. Item 7.1 is the Boncher Union Public Library report, and I have a motion that the September Boncher Union Public Library CEO and board reports be accepted as presented. Moved by Councillor Buckwald, seconded by Councillor Ricky Schoenfeld. Comments or questions? Councillor Ricky Schoenfeld.
Do they think they'll do another games night? Because there was 0 attendance that one time?
Yes, I think they will.
And is it mostly the same people that attend, like in terms of the youth? Is it always the same or not?
I think it is,
Yeah.
but I think it was that one of the key individuals wasn't available at that time. So,
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.2 is the Public Works update. And I have a motion of council accepts this Public Works monthly report, October 2024, as information. Moved by Councillor Byrne, seconded by Councillor Buckwald. Comments or questions? Councillor Ricky Schoenfeld.
The new facility employee, how many hours does he work usually?
During his hour, about 30.
For this
He's
time,
off on at 30.
for this time of the year, like, oh,
We're closing them, you can see my report, we're closing them down today,
Okay.
this week, so these numbers will be going down, hours will be going down.
okay. And what's when they shingled the roof at Snow Drifters, did they shingle the whole roof or just parts, just a part of it?
They can wait for,
Okay. Because I didn't know if that was gonna be a complete or partial. And what happened to the old tractor then?
it's still in our possession.
And what's gonna happen to it?
There's two options, either we can put it up for wholesale surplus, or I do have an option that was brought to me by Bromley Equipment that we can do a trade-in for another piece of equipment. He's offered, he did offer at the time $7,500 for all the equipment, which is pretty reasonable. Considering it's 21 years old. And then he said, well, maybe we can make some kind of arrangements to get a zero. We need a zero turn right on the lawnmower next year, 2025. So that could be an option. I can bring a report to council for that. I'll let council decide.
Okay, thanks.
Any other comments? Councillor Ricky Schoenfeld.
Just one comment by a resident on Shineman Road, and they said, I don't know if they have or not, but they were very thankful about, having the road done. And, I said, well, lots of times the public works only gets bad news. Maybe you should, do something where it's good news. But anyway, people are very happy that that's done.
To be honest, we've had a lot of positive feedback while we've been on the road. The municipal staff, the township staff has completed the shouldering on the capital project. So we've been on the road quite a bit the last 3 or 4 weeks. So we've had a lot of positive feedback.
Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.3 is the local government week, and I have a motion that council accepts the local government week report as presented, and that council joins AMCTO in proclaiming October 20th to the 26th, 2024 as local government week. Moved by Councillor Buckwald, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments or questions? Councillor Ricky Schoenfeld.
Sometimes at school, when we had a declaration of a certain week for a certain event, every day they'd say something on the announcements, right? If it was about a harassment or bullying, they'd always. So I'm just wondering, even though we declare it, are we doing anything? Are we going to do something on, Connect or something on the website or something on our Facebook page saying, here's something local government does, or, even posting that one, like something every day, just to bring awareness to the week?
That's basically what's in the report, that we'll be using the tools provided by AMCTO to announce,
Will you do
promote
something?
it.
Will you do something that week or every day? Or?
There's almost enough to do every day.
Thanks.
Councillor Robinson.
No, I was just going to ask, where are we gonna be creating? Is it gonna be just on the website? Or,
We can use all our social medias.
okay,
Great idea, I think.
Mhm.
Celebrate our local government instead. Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 7.4 is Shoreline Road allowance sales, and I have a motion that council accepts the report regarding the sale of Shoreline Road allowances as information. Moved by Councillor Buckle, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments or questions? Councillor Richardson.
I'm sure everyone, including the residents, are glad that we're coming to the end of this, so. Thanks to everybody who had a part in making us move forward. Probably especially Holly, because it seemed like once you got here, things got a rocking and rolling.
I didn't really do much. I guess said we're not taking any more until we get these ones done, and now we're done.
Well, and part of the delay too was the whole change in information that the province was looking for on some of the land titles, so yeah, caused more time to be invested, and yeah, I'm glad we're getting to finish it off. Any other comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 7.5 is the Seniors Horizons 2024 grant, and I have a motion that council accepts the fall activities New Horizons for Seniors report as information. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Reicher-Schoenfeld. Comments, questions? Councillor Reicher-Schoenfeld.
Cameron, how are you going to publicize the workshop schedule?
So Holly has authorized me to put some ad spend on Facebook. I would say that was very successful for the regatta, so we'll do that again. We'll put it out through all the other ways, but I'd say that's the only new.
Okay, we'll use that connect tool at all?
Yeah.
Super, because I know somebody said they didn't realize what was going on just because they didn't know what was going on.
Mhm.
Great.
You have a big team for the sauerkraut making?
You mean to teach it?
Yeah.
It's Megan Spencer from the Sacred Gardener. You know, they do workshops at their place in Golden Lake on Trailblazers Road, so she's gonna come in. But she donated, or their family or their business or whatever donated all the herbs for the herb garden. Very good.
Oh,
Nice.
do you give a thank you card to the different presenters?
I gave a thank you card to Sherry for the donation of the seeds.
Mhm.
For the others, yeah. we can do that.
I mean, because we have those nice thank you cards, right? I mean, I just think it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Any other comments? Being none, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Item 7.6 is the CEMC reports, and I have a motion that council accepts the CEMC 2024-2025 update report as information. Moved by Councillor Buckland, seconded by Councillor Burke. Comments, questions? Councillor Reicher-Schoenfeld.
What does the acronym MECG stand for?
Which one?
It's right at the very, yeah, keep going. That one, right? Well, yeah,
The MECG,
yeah.
Municipal Emergency Control Group.
And who's gonna be at that review on the 5th?
So at that review, we're gonna review the group itself and just re-ratify and make
Okay.
sure. So currently it is the mayor, public works superintendent, myself, and county champ.
Okay,
But we can make recommendations at that time to see. So
okay, all right, thanks.
why'd you want to be part of it?
I was just wondering, like, is it an exclusive group or like, can you drop in and see what's going on? Like, like sometimes like a meeting like this where you guys would talk about stuff, it'd be interesting. Mhm. Especially if we have a flood going on.
Let's not wish that though.
Gotta always be prepared though, always be prepared.
Any other comments?
Can I
Oh,
just draw attention to one point, which is that, we've talked about doing a full exercise in February,
Okay,
testing snowdrifters as a warning center.
okay,
So that would involve everyone, but the other lead up stuff involves them.
perfect. Thanks.
Thank you. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.7 is the Snowdrifters renaming, and I have a motion that council accepts the Snowdrifters renaming report as presented, and that council considers renaming the facility the Snowdrifters Recreational Park and Clubhouse, and further, that staff provides signage details and a cost estimate during the 2025 budget deliberations for inclusion in the 2025 budget. Moved by Councillor Berg, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments or questions? Councillor Robinson.
How tied are we to Clubhouse?
Sorry?
And then we had, how tied are we to the name?
It's open to discussion. So I basically generated this report based on that meeting that we were all in June, and I compiled all the results and I made the sign based on the discussion. So it's really up to the elected.
I too would like, I mean, it's a good name, but I mean, I'd like to think of other possible names that, and then come together and hit those, like, I mean, the rec committee might have an idea of what they'd like, and maybe we talk to people and they might have an idea and maybe we'll come up. I'm not saying it's a bad one, maybe there's a better one.
How much input was done back when the meeting was held? Or was it just a decision at that time?
I would say there was probably about 40 people.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
And were they had
The
input?
snowdrifters were there, the working groups, the snowdrifters working group of the advisory committee was there, the recreation committee was there.
Survey committee.
Lots of members of the public. I would really like to start advertising it and stuff, so this did come to council before, sort of, and then we benched it, so I would really like it if we could pick something so that I can move forward with the advertising and that kind of thing.
Councillor Buckle.
I think for myself, I'd like something to replace Clubhouse too. Because my vision of a snowmobile clubhouse is a place where there's a little wood stove and a lot of smoking and drinking. Not really good for advertising. I think it makes a good event space for anything, for small events, larger events, indoor events, outdoor events. So I don't know, event hall, maybe in place of clubhouse.
I know from the meeting at Snowdrifters, the one part of the title they didn't want to drop was Snowdrifters.
Yes,
Yes, fine.
So.
And that's part of its history.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You just like something to say that we have a inside facility, that's why you were looking at clubhouse, like, that's
Yeah.
why we wouldn't just say Snowdrifters Recreational Park, because then people won't think we have like a building where people can rent, that's what your whole idea.
Exactly.
So it's like recreation and event hall.
Recreation and event hall, something like that, yeah.
just get rid of the word clubhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah, that being said, like Allison Fraser, it's just called Allison Fraser, right, and they have ball and horseshoes and a rink, and you can rent their hall, like, I mean,
so.
people will know that too, like, anyway, but I'd like the idea of maybe you can talk to your firefighter members and you can talk, and then maybe by next meeting we could come, or send something to Cameron, we could, right?
That works.
But after my next rec meeting, which would be okay, right? It's that's in November, beginning of November,
When's that?
beginning of November.
When do you need the information by?
I would like to just get it in the budget, get it formalized, make the Google my business profile. I have pamphlets that I made like a year ago.
But would it be okay by November? Like, because that's probably, our
Yeah.
next council meeting would be the week after, just like now, I'm thinking.
Yeah, if you promise to do.
Cross my heart.
Okay.
No, because the name's important, right? And it's gonna be there.
It's gonna be there for a long time.
That's right.
Well, exactly, and something like that would allow us. Again, if there are enhancements made over the years, because again, we've got the horseshoe pits being
Mhm.
looked at. So you never know, maybe the next step, pickleball, maybe
Mhm.
other events that maybe spatial, maybe there's an opportunity there for a garden, just like there is in Golden Lake.
Mhm.
Right, if the volunteers are there to do it,
Mhm.
so let's have a name that allows for that potential for future uses, not just for what it is now.
Mhm.
So what I'm hearing council say is they want to defer this.
Yes.
Yeah, let's bring
Yes.
it back to the next meeting.
But we promised to bring it back. I agree, though, a name's very important.
Mhm.
Can I just ask, so you guys are gonna send me feedback over the month and then I'll include the list?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Okay, so all in favor to defer? That's carried. Thank you. Item 7.8 is the CDO City Reporter Platform, and I motion the council accepts the CDO City Reporter Update Report as information. Moved by Council Burns, seconded by Council Buckhold. Comments, questions, Councilor Ricky Schoenfeld?
What does the OBOA stand for? Ontario?
Ontario Building Officials Association.
Did you just make that up? And
Because I asked Jill that the other day.
okay, then I don't feel so bad. Okay, and does anybody else in our municipal, like in our county use city reporter? Do we know?
I don't know that specifically. I know that almost all municipalities that I've talked to have some type of software that they're using. I don't know how many of them are actually using that software. But I hear it's a good one.
I believe there's at least 2 local ones in our area that Jill has spoken to about it.
I just hate to get into some kind of software and then all of a sudden like it's redundant or, you know, the person that provides it doesn't provide it anymore, like we've done with some other. And so the reason being, it's just gonna make things run much easier. The reports we send to StatsCan and Impact, it'll be much easier because.
Yeah, there's a lot of duplication of effort happening, especially for Dawn. So when you get building permits, you send information to StatCan and MPAC and all different. So she's got 3 for sure spreadsheets that she's adding to. And this just allows her to update it. It also allows us to have the information for like, you know, when people call in and ask for information about septics or buildings that right now we're going through boxes to find, this will just all be online eventually.
Councilor Ellis and then Councilor.
Is there any interface? Does the program interface with any of the other, like Impact, for example?
Impact, yes. So those things that I was just saying that Dawn is currently doing in spreadsheet form, this program does away with all of that. It's all going to be automated.
Okay. And how long is it gonna take to compile this information to say the Impact properties information?
So Impact comes to us as a roll every fall, so it just comes as a big thick book and we get every single one. So this program is actually providing Impact the information so that they can get new builds or say if someone builds a deck, this information uploads to Impact and then Impact gives us the download back in the fall.
Okay.
Councilor Buckhold.
I know the fire department went to a similar software package a few years ago that links directly with the Ontario Fire Marshal's office. Saves a huge amount of time on tracking your information for your stats that the OFM wants. So this kind of software is definitely an advantage because we are way behind. We still have a lot of stuff that's tracked by paper, and that just makes it difficult when you need to find something.
Any other comments? That'd be nice too. So we're not live yet. We're still testing it.
We're putting permits in, 24 permits in right now and running them in paper as well as, I've given them the goal of January 1st, all permits in 2025 are going to go in the system without paper. And then we'll work backwards to get all the 24s and.
Is that as far as you'll go then as 2024, or will you eventually?
No, I think we'll go backwards, but it will be less important because the impact information will already have been kind of pushed through by then, but I think the important part is starting 25 with a single system.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 9.1 are non-action items, and I have a motion council accepts correspondence items 9.1.1 to 9.1.7 as information. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Buckholt. Comments, Councillor Ricky phone call.
So just to let people know, it looks like the Renfrew County Veterinary Services Committee, because we only meet once a year, therefore we only get the minutes once a year, so it might look like you know, we're in 2024 while we're looking at 2020. Anyway, that's why. So we only get them once a year. Just if you're wondering. And then that letter of endorsement with the Township multi-use trail.
Yes.
It says support for enhancements to the township unpaved multi-use. So does that mean the government's going to give us some support, or are they just talking?
They're giving us support to send to the Ministry of Natural Forest, MNRF, Ministry of
Okay.
Natural Resources and Forestry, because they're the ones that, I think for Cameron, they've given a verbal support, but they haven't put anything in writing. So MTO agrees that the trail makes sense to get buggies off of Highway 60.
Right.
And so they are sending a letter of support to MNRF so that that can be moved forward.
But we were not getting any money.
We're not getting any money,
Okay.
although they did recommend that we may want to reach out to Ministry of Infrastructure because they sometimes have monies available through grants. So
Okay. And the elevated boardwalk, is that like a bridge? Is that what we're talking about, a bridge?
yeah, do you want to answer that?
So essentially, it's helical piles, stainless steel helical piles that go down an indeterminate depth. So even to test how deep they would go, and that will really depend on the expense. It could go down 1 or 2 spikes. It could go down 20 spikes. Like we just don't know. Yeah, so we'd have to do the test holes first, and then the wooden boardwalk structure would just be like a standard, like a dock sort of thing on top.
Right, but for the buggies to go on?
Yeah, for the buckets.
And
So that's for that wet spot that we're looking at, that we're worried about trying to get approvals to put a.
It's about 100 meters.
so putting the spikes down, that's a cost.
Yeah.
Are we hoping to get a grant?
Well, we did ask basically, because in our request, we said that, you know, we had put aside a certain amount of money from the ICIP grant that would do the corridor road
Right.
there. But the corridor road was not really, well, one, it was not recommended in the environmental
Okay.
assessment, just because of like plastic, the requirement for that poly sheet and stuff,
Right,
and also salt and other gravel and stuff like that. And then it doesn't last very long and it's not good for horses. So
so that's why they're, okay. All right, but we still, yeah, because it's one of those things where, I mean, it sounds really good, but personally, I just don't want to put more money on it, because initially it was going to cost us hardly anything. And, you know, it just seems that it's been an ongoing costing us, so. Okay, but thanks for answering those questions.
And just the question I had for the Veterinary Services Committee, was there any discussion about trying to find a replacement to move into the Stafford Animal Hospital where that has
They talked about,
unfortunately passed away?
there's a Petawawa vet on the boulevard that was looking to build a new facility, and they were looking at a place in one of the business, I guess, wherever their businesses are, in like, you know, like a business industrial park. At any rate, to make a long story short, I think that, you know, maybe that person might look, but I think she was holding back because she's afraid she's gonna lose, because she's moving from Petawawa to Pembroke. But then also she has to think that, you know, Tina's clinic had a number of clients. Where are they going? So she might lose some, but gain others. I don't know.
Yeah,
But that's all they said, and I know that nothing's been done in terms of like, certain animals are on a prescription, like they might just like we are on a prescription, and so the Ontario Veterinary College hasn't released those yet, which is unfortunate, because some vet clinics would be willing to write the prescription out for Fluffy the dog, but they don't know what Fluffy is supposed to take, so everything's kind of in limbo for sure. But it is like a state-of-the-art beautiful facility, right?
Mhm.
I hope somebody takes it over,
Yeah, she wasn't in there very long.
yeah.
because I know the vet in Petawawa, I'm pretty sure they've already committed to that, to their new location. The last I had heard from somebody involved up there. So I don't know if they'd still be looking at moving again, or what their commitments are in the other location, but
Yeah,
even if they could pick up the practice.
that's right. It mostly centers around like the grant monies for the large animal vets. And so we get so much money, and there was talk, because like, even though it's $1.23 or something kilometer, it really doesn't pay. Like, by the time you send that vet out and they travel like 2 hours to get to a place, like, it's not really cost effective. However, we're lucky that we do have vets, because some places up in the far north, they don't have any, and they're looking to like use vet techs more, you know, with the vets helping out. So it's kind of reminds me of the general practitioner problem we had trying to attract, you know, GPs to our area. It's the same thing with large animals, because it's a difficult job. You're on call, and you know, it's physically demanding.
Hard to try.
That's right. And you get kicked every so often.
And I got a letter from Tony Ryder, that he's not going any farther than 40 kilometers from his office in Felton. He just has too much work.
Yeah. And also, he's opted out of the transportation, and because you opt out, then you don't have to go to clients that are more than 40 kilometers away. And also, you don't have to be on call every day. But he's also 73 or 74 years old.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like he's
Just
you know.
wanting to do that.
I know.
And there's not a lot of school placements either
No.
in the universities for veterinary programs these days. The number of intakes on those have gone way down the last 10 years.
Anyway, it's a sad state, that's for sure.
That is the doctors.
Just like the doctors. Yeah.
Okay. I'll call the vote, all in favor. That's carried, thank you. Item 9.2.1 is the Legion Memorial Wreath sponsorship, and I have motion, council directs the purchasing of a Remembrance Day wreath at a cost of $120 through the Royal Canadian Legion Eganville from council public relations budget. Moved by Councilor Burns, seconded by Councilor Buckle. Comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 9.2 is the Military Service Recognition Book. And I have motion council advertise in the 2025 Royal Canadian Legion Military Service Recognition Book with a color 1/4 page ad size for $650, HST included, from the Council Public Relations budgets. Moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Burns. Comments, questions? Councilor Rushel.
When we donate, did we ever get a thank you back?
And that do come to council as correspondence. But you do get a book, but that's, I think,
But they never say, like, thanks for doing that.
Does it say thank you in the,
It does in the letter.
in the letter,
yeah, thank you, in the book too?
It's actually interesting. Pam and I went down east on vacation this summer. And we stopped in at a little town at one of the little parks and actually have their book on display inside one of their visiting areas. And so you're going through, you see it, and Trooper Diab from the Madame Meat restaurant in Petawawa, it was actually open to his page down east.
Yeah.
Just so again, it's like it's amazing where these things wind up and what the exposure can be. I just thought.
Are they in the library at all? Is the book like that?
I don't know. Have to check.
Wouldn't be a bad idea that.
Yeah.
In the library. Councilor
And
Burke.
I went through Eagle today and they're putting up the banners for the people. That's good to see.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really growing and,
Mhm.
we're certainly adding more and more every year.
I don't know how many, I think last year I had 200.
Any other comments? All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 9.2.3 is the Seniors Active Living Fair. Can I have a motion that a member of council to be determined attend the Seniors Active Fair on November the 26th, 2024. Provide opening remarks on behalf of North Algona Wilberforce. Moved by Council Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Ricky Schoenfeld. Any volunteers?
And
November the 26th. 2024.
close enough, I could do it.
Well, thank you. Well, Councilor Robinson has volunteered to represent council. Any objections? All in favor? That's a carry. Thank you. Item 9.2.4 is St. John's Evangelical United Church in Golden Lake. And the motion says that staff be directed to create and send from North Algona Wilberforce Township a certificate acknowledging St. Luke's Evangelical Church's 155th anniversary. Moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Birch. Comments? Questions? I know from the letter that was sent, they were hopefully going to have at least somebody from council attend. Councilor Bird, you can attend.
Yes.
Thank you. All in favor? I guess any member of council can attend, but certainly appreciate having Councilor Bird. Item 9.2.5 is the Bonnet Tree Corporate Sponsorship, and I have motion council direct staff to provide the annual sponsorship fee of $100 plus HST to the Bon Tray Snowmobile Club for trail advertising from the council public relations budget. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments, questions? Councilor Ricky Schoenfeld.
So does anybody else, is this the first time they've asked us?
No,
Yes?
no,
No?
no.
Does the one that goes through Edenville, do they have an access for sponsorship? So I imagine it's on a board, right? And then they, mobile would be on a board somewhere.
That sounds like what they have. There's 6 intersecting trails and they have advertisements at each of those intersections. The council has done it many years and then there was a bit of a break in last year. And this year, they'll send requests.
Okay.
I think we stopped at one point when there was issues with the trails going through Golden Lake. I think it was, yeah, I think a bunch of years ago.
Do you remember why we stopped though? Like what was the issue?
There was somebody cut off their trail access, so the trail wasn't going through.
I think it got cut off of private property
I
someplace.
think so, yeah.
Mhm.
So somebody wasn't letting them through anymore because people weren't respecting the trails, so the trail wasn't there was no point advertising.
Okay, that's why.
I think that's
I'm
what it
pretty sure
was,
you
yeah.
got that resolved now.
Yeah, because we have the trail going through again now, yeah.
Okay.
Right, any other comments? Saying none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. And 9.2.6 is the Volunteer Service Awards. And I have motion that council select a resident of the township to receive a volunteer service award. And that staff be directed to complete the application by November the 15th, 2024 deadline.
But we're just doing that one. That looks like the pizza, right? Ontario Volunteer Service Awards. They're just, this is a whole bunch of service awards that Ontario
I
has.
think we can pick which one we want, right? Or
I think it's just that, because the other ones we really don't. I don't know.
Well, there's one or two. There's the senior achievement
yeah.
or volunteer.
My thought for the Ontario Senior Achievement Award was Ray Bonenberg and Maple Side Products
For the senior,
for the Ontario Senior Achievement Award. Because not only does he run his retail business, but he's also, I think, if he isn't still the president, he was of the Ontario Maple Syrup Producers Association. And he also works for the Benford County Community Futures Development Corporation to provide funding for businesses, et cetera.
and I do know he guest speaks at certain functions too.
So I need a mover and a seconder. If we move by Councillor Burns, seconded by Councillor Buckles. Council agree with that, or is there somebody else?
Are we doing two or just one?
I guess we could do more than one. There's Councillor Robinson, you have somebody else in mind?
I was thinking of Judy Silva. She's been very active with the Horticultural Society, with the library, and a few other things.
I know TV nominated her and she
Oh, did
received
she?
the award. I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Is there anybody at the food bank, Cameron?
Well, Nora is very active, but we have nominated her for.
Mhm.
And Dale, I think we've nominated.
nominated.
Dale's
Yeah.
volunteer.
Nora's husband, Joey, Jay, he takes a lot of people to all, he's a volunteer driver, and he goes out with 2-3 times a week.
Wow.
And people call us the center just to book them.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, maybe he's another
Yeah, Joe would be another.
good one. Yeah.
So we had 2 names, 2 different awards, awards or 2 different possibilities.
You've got senior achievement and senior of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely nice when people drive other people that don't
Yeah.
ride and,
Yeah,
you know,
and it's really
Yeah.
appreciated.
that
And,
it's
and
especially,
he's going out with 2-3 times a week. He's
Yeah.
going twice this week.
especially in our area,
Mhm.
It's needed.
Oh, yeah.
it is needed.
It's really, really needed.
Mhm.
so we could do Mr. Shea for Ontario Senior of the Year.
Volunteer of the year.
And
Or Bob.
Mr. Bonenberg for Ontario Senior Achievement Award.
Does this cost us any money?
I don't think so.
No, these are.
Time and effort to complete.
There's another one there that sounds, Ontario Medal for Firefighters in Bravery. Somebody that has been on the fire department for a long time.
There's an award system for that already through the Governor General. And one through the province. This one is specifically for bravery, conspicuous bravery. So again, you know, if you've gone into a burning and pulled somebody out at great risk or
Oh, yeah, okay.
into the water, that sort of thing. We fortunately not really had any incidents that I think would qualify for that one in our township,
Okay.
and hopefully we never do.
Mhm.
Moving forward, could we have like a spreadsheet or just keep it and then every year we could review? Like, and then we know who we, you know, we could just start this year. I know like when we were doing awards at the school, it was always nice to see who had won it in the past. And
So
then we
that
just
you don't duplicate it.
don't duplicate it, and then you get to start thinking about like this, the attributes that you're and the characteristics and that you're looking for and stuff like that. And it starts to get your creative juices going.
Mhm.
So it's just something and then every time when we do this, then at least we could know the people in the past, even like the survey, you know, then you know,
Yeah, that she's
Right.
received it.
right,
Because I know that her husband had gotten it at the Echo Center.
Hmm.
So, you know, you don't want to.
Right.
There are a lot of other people that are doing things in the community.
Right. Yeah.
That you don't want to overlook them.
for sure.
Okay, so we have two names, all in favor? That's carried, thank you.
Just ask questions. I'm just looking at it as we have here for students. Is there anything done through the
Well,
high school?
they do that one,
The lieutenant governor?
yeah, they do that one. Mhm.
Okay,
That one's every year they do that one.
okay. I was
No.
just wondering.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking, Richard Schmierden, he does a lot. Like, he's a guy that does a lot,
Yeah,
you know, like,
Richard,
mhm,
he's now in Cobden,
mhm.
because
But
he's quite ill,
He's a fellow though that did a lot,
did a lot.
like, and I think in terms of school, that's what made me think, like, he was
Mhm.
always there, even though he was quite elderly, he was
Yeah,
still
this
like,
is in his
this
80s.
is what we have to do, this is, and like, he
Yeah.
was a true trooper,
Yeah, no, I agree.
he was a great man. Okay,
So we're into bylaws now, and item 10.1 is a bylaw. Now therefore, the Council of North Dakota Wilberforce enact the following bylaw. Bylaw 2024-53 to appoint Luke Desjardins as CAO Clerk Treasurer. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Schoenfeld. Questions? Councilor Buckwell?
Just one, the bylaw refers to him in the top line as Chief Executive Officer instead of Chief Administrative.
Thank you.
Okay, so staff have noted that correction. All in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 10.2 is the bylaw for shoreline road closure with the halls. Now therefore, the Council of North Dakota Wilberforce enact the following bylaw 2024-54 to authorize shoreline road closure hall, and bylaw 2024-55 to authorize the agreement with hall. Moved by Councilor Burns, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. And 10.3 is shoreline road closure Fulton. Now therefore, the Council of North Dakota Wilberforce enact the following bylaw 2024-56 authorize shoreline road closure Fulton, and bylaw 2024-57 to authorize agreement Fulton. Moved by Councilor Buckwald, seconded by Councilor Schoenfeld. Comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 10.4 is shoreline road closure Walker. Now therefore, the Council of North Dakota Wilberforce enact the following bylaw 2024-58 authorize shoreline road closure Walker, and bylaw 2024-59 Authorize agreement Walker. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Buckles. Comments, questions? Seeing none, all in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 15.1. Oh, before we get there, are there any matters of urgency? Any notice of motion? So we'll move to reports from committees. And I have a motion, council accepts the recreation committee chair report as presented, and that staff create a formal agreement to partner with the Rankin Culture and Recreation Center for the use of the RCRC ice surface as pickleball courts. Moved by Councillor Buckwald, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments? Questions? So I think this is great, and I really appreciate the partnership with the Rankin Community Center, and I think it'll certainly grow in popularity as pickleball is certainly growing. All in favor? That's carried, thank you. Item 14.1 is the maybe Win Gimmick Society. And I apologize if I've pronounced that incorrectly. The motion is that council sponsors the Win Gimmick Society with $200 towards the Christmas Giving Tree project from the council public relations budgets. Moved by Councillor Fern, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Comments, questions? Councillor Duchamp.
Did they or did anybody from here reach out? Yeah.
So I did ask them questions. So it's a nonprofit initiative at Nigig Nibikiwin, which is a foster home located on Performing First Nation, but it serves children in the area, including North Algona Wilberforce. They did ask surrounding municipalities for funding, and their goal is to raise $9,000 total for 65 families, including 129 children located throughout the area, including North Algona Wilberforce. This works out to about $70 a child, and it's for Christmas food and gifts.
And do they access funds from any other source? You know?
So I just asked if they asked other municipalities.
Okay.
Councillor Robinson.
I did speak to them as well. And one of the things that what I was asking was, are you double dipping?
Mhm.
And they said, no, one of the applications that they go process is to make sure that they're not getting the same kind of funding from other sources.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you for that information. I appreciate that. I'll call the vote. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. That concludes our open portion of the meeting. And I have a motion that council go into closed session pursuant to section 239 2D(B)(8) of the Municipal Act regarding two personal matters about an identifiable individual, one litigation or potential litigation, and one information supplied in confidence by another level of government. Moved by Councillor Byrne, seconded by Councillor Buckle. And we were going to close at 7:54 p.m. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Item 16.1 community grant application. A motion that council approves the free use of the Golden Lake Community Hall to the Girl Guides for the 2025 year. Moved by Councillor Hurt, seconded by Councillor Buckle. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 16.2, I have a motion, council direct staff to proceed as directed in closed session, and that's in regards to an identifiable individual. Moved by Councillor Robinson, seconded by Councillor Kitchen. So all in favor, that's carried. Thank you. Item 17 is our confirmatory bylaw, that bylaw 2024-60 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council for October the 15th, 2024. Read a first and second time this 15th day of October 2024, moved by Councillor Buckfall, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Read a third time and final pass this 15th day of October 2024. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you. And finally, number 18, that this October 15th, 2024, regular meeting of council adjourns at 8:52, moved by Councillor Rankin.
Thanks.
Seconded by Councillor Robinson.
Okay.